All right, let's go ahead and get this going. Who are we going to start out with in the new series? Who are we going to talk about first? Whose season? Oh my God, the Browns! For fuck's sake! All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. We got the schedule. We're gonna start talking about this team. For the first time since 2004. Oh, that's kind of sad. Oh my goodness! But in this game, the Cleveland Browns went ahead, went against the Carolina Panthers, against their old QB Baker Mayfield. I always thought like Baker after his third season wasn't going to amount to anything in the league. Was kind of right. Um, as you see, Browns scored 17 in the second half. Dang, it's been 6 weeks since this game happened. I don't really remember much about the game at all, other than Baker Mayfield played like garbage. I mean, 235 yards. Nick Chubb was a dog this game, and Christian McCaffrey was non existent. Um, Nick Chubb, in my opinion, is the best running back besides Derrick Henry and maybe Saquon in the whole football league. Um, Christian McCaffrey, I think, if we're looking based on this game, but we're just talking about the Browns. So for the Browns, this was a really good game to start their season off. It was phenomenal to see Nick Chubb go out there and do what he does best, which is run that ball, which is what he did. Now, it was a very close game, and they almost choked the game. They should have won this game by a blowout. Please get off my screen. Now we're going to go on to the next game, in a game they probably shouldn't have lost, but went ahead, and I did watch this game, and they blew this game. They lost to Joe Flacco. Now, Joe Flacco hasn't been good since his Super Bowl win against the 49ers? Yeah, they blew this game to the Jets. This is a game they should have won. They didn't win this game, and Joe Flacco just dominated them. Jacoby Brissett didn't. He didn't play bad. He played really fucking good. They just didn't win. Nick Chubb, 3 touchdowns. Had a phenomenal game in this series. At this point, you're thinking of the Browns as like, oh man, they should be 2-0. They should be 2-0 for the first time since I don't know when. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it, and they lost to old man Joe Flacco, which is unfortunate because nobody else on this team really did anything. But this is where you saw Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper decided to, have a 100-yard game. I don't really remember much about Amari Cooper and the plays he made in this game. But, Garrett Wilson out here proving that, hey, listen, he deserved to, get where he was drafted at. Let's go ahead and watch some highlights from this game. This is what I'm going to do. Because they should give them enough time for highlights to come out and stuff like this. So we can go back and watch the highlights of just Nick Chubb dominating in this Panthers game. There's another first down by Nick Chubb. He had 100 and 41 yards this game? Man, Chubb is such a dog. Chubb is an absolute dog. And was he dog in this game? He probably could have scored there if his teammate moved out of the way. Chubb still going. They just didn't have the run stop to stop Chubb, man. He was finding every single which way hole. Just imagine if Chubb had really lightning fast speed. Like that shit would be scary. Chubb looking for more. You got Amari Cooper highlights now. There he goes, gets open. This is against the Jets. Got Amari Cooper out there again. You know, Amari Cooper is still one of the best wide receivers in football. You just need, you know, just dude had 100 yards this game. Was great for fantasy, by the way.
Third and goal from the 6%. Launches, touchdown, and Cooper was all by himself.
They shouldn't have lost this game. They sold this game so hard. They sold this game so hard. In a minute and what was it, 49 seconds.
14%. Hard pass is caught.
Cooper was dogging. What can I say about the Browns? They had this game in the bag, and it makes so much sense for this video just to come out since I am from Ohio. God, it pains me. Anyway, we're gonna hop right back into it. It's gonna be a little bit more of a longer episode. Then they had the Steelers. Now they went ahead and they beat the Steelers. Steelers just beat the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. So, I mean, Steelers weren't really looking that good during the season. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, up to this point, was playing amazing. Nick Chubb had another 100-yard game, and Cooper another 100-yard receiving game. So, you're looking at the Browns offense, you're like, hey, bro, they're good. Their offense is good. Their running game is good. Jacoby Brissett, basically all his yards are going to Amari because Amari knows how to get open. And, it's adding up for them. But it gets worse. This is where it starts to get bad for them. Nick Chubb, yet another 100-yard game. Showing why he's undoubtedly probably the best running back in the league as of right now. Jacoby Brissett didn't really have a great game. I mean, it's the Falcons. You can't really lose to the Falcons. They haven't been good in years. They lost on a field goal, unfortunately. And they couldn't do nothing left with like 2 minutes left in the game. And this is where I was like, for the Browns, it's tough because you lost to Marcus Mariota, who hasn't been good in years. Now, the Falcons probably should have beat the Buccaneers in that game that they beat. They played the Buccaneers, but we won't really go into too much detail until maybe we spin Atlanta on the wheel. Now, I do remember this Chargers game because this was one of their last games that they played. Phenomenal game for both teams, honestly. But it sucked because, Brissett, again, his passing rating went down. Herbert didn't play well. Chubb is probably the biggest dog in the league. We're going to keep talking about Chubb. Because this breakdown is mostly about the reason why Cleveland stays in these games is because of Chubb. If Chubb has a bad game, they're going to lose pretty badly. So, it honestly depends. And you're going to love the next week. This is... this is probably as best as it's going to get for the Browns for a while. Yep, and then we move into them getting absolutely stomped by the New England Patriots without Mac Jones. And honestly, the Patriots don't need Mac Jones because this guy... Who are you, sir? Bailey was phenomenal in this game. Brissett was fucking terrible. Nick Chubb was terrible. The whole offense was terrible for Cleveland in this game. Their defense was also bad. This was all around probably their worst game of the season. And Stephen Curry just hit a 3-point. And this isn't even a game, bro. LA's not doing shit this season. But, man, I'm not going to lie. I like New England with this QB, man. He looks good. Now we get to the end of the breakdown for Cleveland. Their next couple games, Ravens, they're taking the L on that one. Dolphins, if Tua's back, they're taking the L on that one. Bills, they're taking the L. Buccaneers, it's not an easy road. They're taking the L. Texans, they should win. Ravens, they're gonna lose. Saints, it's iffy. They should win that. If they play like they do in the beginning of the season, they should win that game. Washington, they should beat Washington. And Steelers, if the Steelers play like they did against the Buccaneers, the Browns will probably lose that game. But Nick Chubb by the end of the year should have around like 2,000 rushing yards, at least. But that is a breakdown for the Cleveland Browns. So, oh, wait a minute. Looks like they also play the Bengals a couple times. Against the Bengals, they should also lose. They should lose against the Bengals. They shouldn't be able to beat the Bengals. They might get one game. They might slip one game to the Bengals because we know the Bengals last year got beat by the Browns twice. So there's a big possibility. But I highly doubt it with this Browns team this year that they do it. So anyway, that's good. That's and then the Browns breakdown. I wasn't really expecting much from them this year after the Baker Mayfield trade, and maybe if Deshaun Watson was playing, they would probably be somewhere close to maybe like 4-2. But I don't think Deshaun Watson's gonna play this season. Wait, is he gonna play this season? I think they canceled him for this season. But yeah, that's where the Cleveland Browns are at right now, and I'm going to be ending this off here. I don't really have much to say about the Browns, other than Nick Chubb, best running back in